Hi, this is Holly at the Potomac Bead Company. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Tila Rose Garden bracelet. To make this bracelet, what you're going to need are some 11/0 seed beads, some 4mm bicones or rounds. We'll need some Tila beads and some Rose Montees. The other thing we're going to need is some .006 beading thread. I'm using some Wildfire in the green color, and I'm also using size 10 English beading needles. To get started, what you're going to do is you're going to cut a length of your beading thread, and you're going to put a needle on both ends. So this is a 2-needle project. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've taken 20 of my seed beads and I've put those on my beading thread. And I've brought those to the center to make the loop for our closure on our bracelet. After you've done this, what you're going to do is you're going to pick up on one of your needles, one of your Tila beads. And once you pull that down on your thread, you're going to cross the other needle through the same hole. And then you'll pull that down to your seed beads. So this is going to start our closure. Once you've done that, the next thing you're going to do is crisscross both needles through the top hole of the Tila bead. And then you're going to pull tight. If the threads on either side are uneven, take this opportunity to kind of pull them and keep them even. From here, what you're going to do is on each needle, you're going to pick up an 11/0 seed bead and a crystal. Do that on both needles. And then we're going to pull those down to the Tila, like that. Once you have those on, you're going to pick up one of your Rose Montees with one of your needles and pass through one side, and then take your other needle and pass through the other hole. And you want to make sure that you keep the Montee facing up. You want to see the crystal instead of the silver. The next thing you're going to do is pick up another one of your 4mm and a seed bead on each needle. So it's basically the reverse of what we just did. And we're going to pull those down to our Montees, like that. The next thing you're going to do is pick up another one of our Tilas on one of your needles, pull that down, and then we're going to cross our second needle through the same hole. Just like that. And once you have that done, you're going to go ahead and cross both needles through the second hole of that Tila bead. And then you're ready to start everything all over again. Once you've crossed through that second hole of that Tila bead, you want to make sure that you pull everything tight. Now I will say that this bracelet does gather up once we start doing the finishing parts of the sides. So you want to make sure that you do make this just a little bit longer than you typically would. Because what happens is those crystals kind of pop up out of the side. Alright, so here we go again. We're going to pick up an 11/0 seed bead and a crystal on each of our needles. And we're going to pull those down to our Tila, just like that. And then with one of our needles, we're going to again pick up our Rose Montee and pass through one of the holes. And with our other needle, we're going to crisscross through the other hole. And once we pass through that and pull that down, we're ready to pick up the other half of our flower, which is going to be the reverse, a crystal and a seed bead on both needles. And you're just going to continue doing this until you get the bracelet to the length that you need. Remembering the pattern, you're going to start with the bottom hole of your Tila and cross both of your needles through there. Then you're going to cross through the top hole, pick up a seed bead and a crystal on each needle, cross through your Montee, and then add your crystal and seed bead on each needle again. Pass through the bottom hole of your Tila. So just continue doing that until you have the bracelet to the length that you need it. So I have my bracelet to the length that I need, and I've continued the pattern the whole length. And I've come out of a Tila bead, and I'm getting ready to add my crystal pave ball for my closure. What I've done is I've gone ahead and put 3 of my 11/0 seed beads on both of my threads and needles. And then what you're going to do is bring your needles together and you're going to pass them through your crystal pave ball. So what that's going to do is make a nice little finished look there on your closure. Once you've gone through your pave ball, you're going to crisscross your needles through one of your 11/0 seed beads and then go back down through the pave ball and then through the 3 seed beads on the other end. Just like that. And you want to make sure that when you're pulling this, you don't pull too tight so you can't pass through that crystal pave ball with your other needle. Alright, so there we go. We have the other half of our closure on. The next part we're going to do is we're going to start adding the Tila beads that go down the side. And what you're going to do is once you've gone through and you've added this, we're going to cross through the first hole of our Tila bead with both needles. And then we are going to cross through the bottom hole with each needle. And you can see that it's coming out right beside that 11/0 seed bead. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through that seed bead, and then you're going to pick up a Tila, go through the next 11/0, make sure that that lays underneath your crystals, because that's what's actually going to give you the little pop out. And then you cross through the top hole of that Tila. And then you're going to do the same on the other side. So you're going to cross through the 11/0. We're going to pick up one of our Tilas, go through the other 11/0, and then cross through the top hole of the Tila. And when you pull that tight, like I said, the crystals or the rounds should be popped out and kind of sitting on top of the Tilas, which gives it kind of like a flower garden effect. And you're just going to continue doing this. You'll cross through the bottom hole of the Tila and then go through the seed beads on each side. Go through the seed bead. I'm getting tangled there. Go through that. We're going to pick up our Tila. Go through the next seed bead. And then cross through that top hole. And you're going to continue doing that on both sides until you reach the length of your bracelet. And then we have one more step and we're almost done with our flower box bracelet. I have the embellishments done on both sides of my bracelet, and now I'm ready to finish this. And both threads should be coming out at the same end, but they should be coming out both of the side Tilas. What you're going to do to finish this is go ahead and add 2 seed beads onto one needle, and you're going to cross through, sew through and then cross that Tila at the very end with one needle, and that's going to mimic what we have going on at the other end. And then with the other needle, you're going to pick up 2 of your seed beads, and you're going to sew through the seed bead that is there, and then through the Tila, just like that. And then to finish it, you can sew through those 3 seed beads, if I can get through the third one. There we go. And once you sew through that, then if you want, you can go ahead and tie off right underneath of that. Pulling that super tight, just like that. And then with the other side, we'll sew through our 3 seed beads, and it is kind of tight in there. So through those 3 seed beads, and then you can tie off. Just like that. And then you can use your thread zap or your scissors to go ahead and trim those threads. But you have a really cute and dressy bracelet for pretty much any kind of occasion. And the colors and possibilities are endless. I'd love to see what you make with this technique. And this is the Rose Garden, Tila Rose Garden bracelet. This is Holly at the Potomac Bead Company. Check out some of our other YouTube videos for all kinds of examples of seed beading and bead weaving. And we'd love to see you in one of our stores sometime. Thanks for watching.